Hello everyone, I'm Zishansha and welcome to Z Interactive YouTube channel, your own training institute. In this video, we will go through our second lesson, which is about Explorer tab. So everyone, let's get into Explorer tab and let's take a look about it. So like I mentioned before, Explorer panel is where you will be managing all your file inside substances. And this is where you will be creating the files you save, files that you want to open, the pre-existing file that you already have and you want to open them. So this is where you can do that. It is kind of a file structure that Substance Designer likes to use. So when you create a new graph, Substance Designer creates here something called packages. And it is essentially a zip file that holds all the information that you have brought into Substance Designer for your current project you are creating. It is kind of similar in the way Unreal has their packages, where everything is imported at one single file. So just like that, in Substance Designer, inside of the packages, you can actually have your graphs, you can have your bitmaps, you can have your resources of meshes and different other things. The quickest way to create a new package is just go to the file here and just click on the new substance. Now, once you will click on the new substance, you will get the window to choose a template. So there are a variety of templates over here. Say, for example, we will choose PBR metallic roughness. And it's basically kind of pre-existing outputs inside these templates. So you don't have to create the output like nodes. You will get the nodes and you can just replace with them with your own nodes. So it will be a quite faster way of doing that. So if you see under graph outputs here, you will get all these sort of outputs nodes when you are choosing any one of these. Like suppose if I will choose standard, I will get these. If I will choose AXF, so I will get these. If I will choose PBR metallic roughness, I will get these. So usually I use sometimes PBR metallic roughness. And if I want to create completely everything from the scratch, I use empty. So you have actually a choice. So it gives you different outputs and you can choose whatever you want. Also, if you don't want to use any one of these templates, you can choose empty, which will create everything from scratch without any nodes, and you can make your own nodes. So it will be completely empty graph with absolutely nothing in it. So you are free to do that as well. So let's create a PBR metallic roughness graph. So you can give the graph name over here, whatever name you want. Like, so for example, I will say test graph here or test graph 1, whatever name you want to give it to it. Let's make this E not capital. And then size node, you can either choose absolute or relative to parent. Let's keep it relative to parent basically. So we will talk about these two modes of the size, relative to parent and absolute, in our next video. Then you just have to choose your dimensions, whatever dimensions you want here, so that you will get here. So you can see here we have all these outputs basically that we will get, the nodes. So as soon I will just click it here. So right off the bat, you will notice it created all the outputs from that template, which that we just closed it. And then inside the graph, you can see they are here. And you can simply see that we have all these nodes that we were just looking at in our like create graph window. So now you can see that we have here two packages, two different sort of projects, you can say. This one and this one. This one have two graph views, and this is and the one that we just created have one graph view right now here. So to close the package, you can just right click any one of these Okay, and simply you can just press the close here, and as soon I will click the close, it will ask me like, do you want to save the changes to package unsaved? I actually don't want to save the changes. I'll just press no over here. Now all only I have here is the new one that we created. So I can bring some resources here as well. For example, I can bring let's say some like metallic of my maps here that I have created in Photoshop, or bitmap files, or vector graphic, 3D meshes, fonts, or any other thing. I can bring it up here in my graph view as resources. Now let's say, for example, if I want to create a new graph view, so I can just click on this package, new, and substance graph. So here I'm not creating the new substance. What I'm creating is the new substance graph. So I have to right click here, unsaved package, new substance graph, and this will make a new substance graph here inside this package, not a completely new project. Let's do one thing. Let's create empty here right now. So I will just press OK. I'll keep everything as it is. And you will notice that there is nothing here, no nodes or anything, because it's empty. So basically, if you want to start from scratch, you can have this empty. And if you don't like it, if you want to delete it, just press delete button and it will ask you, are you sure you want to remove elements? I'll say yes, and we'll delete it. So here I can close this one here, double click it here, and it will open the one that I have. Now here, as I said, you can bring your bitmaps, you can bring your 3D meshes, you can bring your other resources, and you can use them in your graph. However, you have two different ways of bringing external resources here. And those are by importing or by linking. So there is a big difference in it. So let's see what it is. So before jumping into that, let me give you a heads up that what actually import and linking are. So the important thing to know about import and linking are the way they work. So import makes a copy of whatever file that you have on your hard drive at the time of import. So any changes that you make, you essentially have to re-import that map over and over again. Whereas if you were to link something, it will constantly look at the path that the file is originally saved on your hard drive, and it will keep on updating based on that. To give you guys a small little like of a demo, just like I said, let's do that. We'll import here. First of all, I will go here. I'll go to the unsaved package, right click on the unsaved package. Let's do the import first. So I will go to the import and I will import a bitmap. So as soon as I will do that, let's go to the file the folder over here. Let's go here and we will have here. So as we are importing, so I will choose the poly import and I will press open over here. So this is what we have imported. Now let's link also. So I will go back to the unsaved package here, right click. Now this time I will go to the link, bitmap, and choose the poly link over here. So two different files just to differentiate between them, and I will open the poly link here as well. So now I have poly import and poly link. So let's bring them here. This is poly import here. And now I will bring the poly link over here as well. So I have poly import on the top and poly link on the bottom. And let's see what happens now. So when I took the file poly import and imported here in my unsaved package, so basically this is not the actual file which I clicked on. What Substance Designer did is that it copied that file and then brought it inside the Substance Designer. So if I will go to my Photoshop here and open up this poly import and do some sort of a changes over here. Let's do some change here. and save it as well. Close it. Now, if I will go back to my Substance Designer, you will see it is actually as it is. There is no changes here. So what I have to do again is that to bring that changes, the one which is actually changed, I have to go to my unsaved package again, and I have to right click here, import bitmap, and the one that I changed, poly import, I have to bring it back. I have to press open here, and then I will get it. And then let's put it next to this one. And just notice actually what it is that this is the actual file, the new file that we just changed in the Photoshop. This is the old one. This is the old copy because it didn't got changed. The reason is that because when you import any resource, a copy is made. So a copy of this is made. So let's again, for example, if I go back here, let's put on some different sort of colors here. And then save it. And also let's close here. Let's go back here. And you will notice no changes. So to bring that also, I have to go to my unsaved package and I have to go to import bitmap and then bring that here as well. So just if you're using import, Substance Designer is creating copies of that file. So every time you are changing, you have to bring them inside Substance Designer because automatically it will not do it for you. So let's do one thing here. Let's go back to these, whatever we brought in, delete them. Yes. And from here as well, because here it's just showing you a preview. Okay. So let's delete from here as well. Let's delete from here. Just notice one thing. If I delete from here and not from here, just notice what we get. Like a precaution sign, or you can say a caution sign. Now, what it means is that you have deleted like a resource over here, but that resource still exists inside your graph view. But actually, this won't do anything because it's just like a preview of whatever is deleted. So it's just like a ghost image. So that's what it is saying, that you have lost one file, but it still is showing here. So this is just like a ghost image right now. So if as soon I will remove this one also, so those like cautionary signs will be gone. Now this is the polylink. This is the polylink. Now let's go to our Photoshop and open up the polylink here. And if I do any sort of change, let's do some kind of a change here. Save it, close it. And as soon I will go to my Substance Designer, just notice how it has been changed. So if I double click it here, you will notice whatever changes we did is now here. So I don't have to re-import anything. I don't have to do all those tedious sort of steps to bring it back. Now, if I want to do some more changes, I can still do that more changes here. So if I will go back here, take any other color, put something like this, and then go back to Substance Designer. And as soon as I did that, you can notice the changes have been done here as well. So in short, the import is basically a copy, a duplicate of the original file, whereas the link is the actual file. So to save time, or you can use the link, or depending on your graph or the way you want, if you don't want to mess around with the original file, you can import them instead of linking. So it's totally up to you, depending on how you want to work. So not only you can import just different images, we can actually link 3D meshes. So let's bring in a 3D mesh here quickly. So I just have to right click here in my saved packages. Now I cannot import it because the meshes have to be linked. So I will go to the link and I will go to 3D mesh. And as soon as I'll click on it, it will ask me where is the file. My file is here, which is an FBX file. I'll just simply press open over here. And it will ask me, do you want to use it as a UDIM? So it's basically not a UDIM, it's like a normal UV tiling. So I'll just press no over here because it's not UDIM, it's not using UDIMs. And I have it here. So with the mesh, you can actually bake things inside Substance Designer, but it also gives you a list of different materials that are applied to that mesh when you first import it. So if you want to actually bake something, you can right click here in the mesh, and after that you can go to the bake model information. Now you will get this window here. And this whole setup is a completely different topic that we will cover later in this series. So we can close this right now. Just let me close it. And this is actually the only way to bring it up is just by right clicking here and bake information. By like after importing your mesh, right click on your mesh, bake model information, and you will get that window basically. So with different resources, you can actually just again have the same control. You can actually, if you can just right click any one of these, you can rename them, you can remove them. And the cool thing is that you have all these hotkeys written next to it. So you know like how you can like copy it, like Control C, how you can remove them, just delete, and how you can rename, then F2. So it's quite quite handy. So if you have the link here, the linked file, so if you right click on the link file, so you have different sort of options here. You have reload option, also you have show in Explorer, also you have relocate also, whereas in the imported file you don't have those. So it depends. Like in mesh, I have some other option also. I have the bake model information too. So it all depends on different sort of files. Like this one, you can see it shows like the UV tile, like tiles, everything, because like these are the part of the mesh basically. So something to be mindful with your resources inside of your package are in the rare instance that you know something happens. If something happens, like suppose if your files, any one of these resources get deleted or misplaced or removed from the original like folder, so you don't have to worry about it because you can pretty much bring it back to your Substance Designer and you can make it work. So let's have a quick example about it. So let's go to the folder where I have these poly import and poly link file. Let's do some changes there and let's see how we can relink them or to fix like whatever error we get. So I'll just go here and open up my folder where I have my poly import and poly link. So if I will do anything, any changes to the poly import, nothing will change over here because as you know, we imported, and Substance Designer, all it do is that it makes the copy of anything that is imported. But if it is a link, so it shows the actual file. So let's do one thing here. This says poly link. So let's do one thing here. Let's right click it. Okay. Change the name to something else, like maybe ERT. And apart from that, I can make a new folder here and move the ERT in that folder. And as I did that, just notice this poly link is all gone from here and you cannot see it. Plus you have these caution signs that tells you something is wrong. So one thing, the quickest way to do that, to fix this, if things are messed up, you just right click on your resources that are missing. Okay. And you just click on relocate. And then you have to find it where it is. So it is inside the new folder. I made a new folder and I had the file over there. And I'll just open it up. And here you go. Everything is now back to normal as it was before. So we were able to find it because we knew where it is. And plus I changed the name. So changing the name becomes a little bit tricky sometimes. What if you have it is moved somewhere, but the name wasn't changed and you know what the name was? So in that case, what you can do is you can just right click and you can relocate. And in the search panel here, you can write the name of the file if you know what was the name of the file, and then you can search it. And if it shows up, just select it and press open. But that's only can be done if you know the name of the file. So some things you have limits here. So like you cannot go all the way and bring it back 100%. You should also know where it is located, where it's gone, and those kind of things. So another cool kind of trick is if you right click on your like package here, and you will see here there is Dependency Manager. So if you click on the Dependency Manager, oops, I have brought up the wrong file here. Okay, now Dependency Manager, actually what it do is that it will show you all the different resources that you have in your graph. So I'll just click on this unsaved package, the self, and it will show me what do we have here. We have this polylink. If I click here, you can see that I have this whole the package location and everything, where it is, and all the different kind of like sort of things you can get with it. And this is really helpful for you if you're trying to find out where the resources are and why the resources are broken inside of your graph. So you'll get a kind of the same like message here. It will show you what's wrong with it, if the file is renamed or if the file link is broken, it is moved somewhere else. So here on the list, but it's just kind of a bigger, almost like a spreadsheet. Okay, and it's keep on getting bigger and bigger when you have more and more things if you have imported. So it kind of sometimes maybe it will look like messed up or sort of messy. So let's close this Dependency Manager here. Now to save an actual package, let's talk about saving the file. So to save the file, because in the end you will be exporting your graph to different other applications to use them. So in order to do that, you should save your package first. So you can right click here and you will notice that there is a save option here and save as option here. So save as, you can just click on save as and write whatever name you want to give it. And then simply press save button. And you can notice that there is no static sign, or it's written in italics anymore. It's not written in italics anymore, because if it is written in italics and you have that like a static sign, that means it's not saved. So, but now it is saved actually. But for instance, if you are having more than one packages inside your projects, like if you know in the last session or in the beginning of this, we had a different sort of a package here. So if you want to save all of them at once, you can use this option, save all packages, or go to the file and save all. So it will save all the packages here. But at this point, we have only one package here. So now let's say if you have finished with your material and you want to actually want all these outputs as separate images. By output, I mean by these output nodes. And if you want all of these output nodes as separate images, and you want to use them inside your 3D application, plug them manually to like different other like shaders there. So what you can do over here is that So let's export these nodes separately. We have to go to our Explorer and right click on our graph. And once we will right click on the graph, we have export outputs as bitmaps. Now remember, this is export outputs. Outputs by, I mean these nodes, not the actual graph, the whole graph by itself. So I will just click on export outputs as bitmaps and I will get this information over here. Now what do I have here is my folder here. Okay, and what I can do here is that I can just make an like a subfolder inside this folder, so just not to mix it up. So I can just click it here and it will take me to this folder, whatever folder is selected here, and I can make a new folder here and I can write here output nodes, and I will just look at here and select the folder and it will be here. Now what format you want, you can have PNG, you can have TIFF, whatever format you want. Okay, so for this exercise I'll just keep it JPEG, so otherwise you can keep it TIFF or whatever you want. Pattern, how you want the naming convention to be, so it will be like the name, okay, graph, the number of it, and what kind of node it is using. So this is the preview of how it will be. So usually I keep the one that is here as it is. So I can have a color space, including and I can have a graph, and I can have so many other things. So let's remove these. I don't want all of these here. Okay, so that's basically let's remove this $sign as well. So this is basically what I actually use here. Now, what outputs you want? So I want the base color, normal, everything. So I will check all of them or check the one that you want. So it's totally up to you. I will keep all of them raw except for the base color because it's basically sRGB. I want to keep it. So it's up to you. If you want that to be raw also, it depends actually where you are taking it to. Okay. And then what you do is that you can just click on export outputs and it will export it. But right now I don't want to do that. I'll just press close here. Now why I did that, just to show you another way to do it. So this is what I actually use do if I want to do that. If I want to export these outputs nodes, I just go to this wrench icon, if you will see here. And I'll just click here and then I'll just go to export outputs and it will bring up the same window over here. So I will just choose my folder here and then I'll press export outputs. So as soon as I will do that, export is done. Now let's go to that folder. Now we are in the folder. Here is the output nodes folder. If I will go here, I have all these different nodes here and I can take it to my 3D application wherever I want to use it. So this is how you can export different nodes to external files so you can use them in whatever application you want. Let's close it all here and let's close this one as well. Now, as you know, we have done some changes, but we didn't save that. So you can see it's again, we have our package written in italics, and as well we have the static sign. So I have to right click here, save, and now it is saved. So you'll notice that it has created SPS file, and that the SPS file are pretty much primarily only used for Substance Designer. So say you made a really cool graph and you like to use it outside of the Substance Designer, say like for Unreal or inside of the Substance Painter. So you made all these parameters here, these nodes and whatever you have. Okay, so and you want to use those in the Substance Painter or any other application. So actually, for using inside some other application like Substance Designer, Substance Painter or Maya or 3D Studio Max or Blender. So for that, actually you have to export or save not the SPS file, you have to save the publisher graph, which is completely different from the method registering about exporting your output. So publishing your graph will actually create a file that can be read by Unreal or Unity or Substance Painter. So to do that, you actually have to make sure that everything is set up, everything is finalized. You just right click on your package, and as soon you will click on your package, you will see publish SPS AR file. So this is basically a published graph. So published graph is a little bit different than the SBS, because SBS is what it's a source file, just like a PST source file, or .max source file, .ma source file, and .ma can be only open in Maya, .max can be open in 3D Studio Max, PSD can be open in Photoshop, just like that SBS can be only open in Substance Painter. But the published graph is .sbsr file. So if you want to use this whole thing in your Substance Painter or in Maya or any other thing, you just need to use the publish SPSR file. So if I click it here, you will see that it is asking me where you want to save it. So I will choose my folder. So here I have my folder, and now I can rename it to whatever I want or keep the name as it is and just save this file here. And now I have these options now. So it usually gives you a few general options. So you can choose or you can enable icon safety here. So you have enable icon here, and enable icon is basically it will create a sort of a icon for you, so that if you are bringing it to Substance Painter, so it will appear as an icon, just like what these are appearing here, something like that. It will appear there. So you can enable the icon, you can use the compression, you can have an automatic, or if you want to use your own, the name you want. So basically I'll keep the same name, and everything else, the output size and everything, I will keep it as it is, and I'll just press OK over here. Now what I will do here is that I will again, let's see where we have saved it. Let's go file, save as, and yeah, it is saved inside the output nodes. So instead of saving it in the output nodes, let's save it here as well. Okay, here it's saved here as well. It's the same name. So let's save over it. So replace it. So I have saved my SBS also. Now if I will go back to my folder basically here, so you will notice that the SBS file, which is only for Substance Designer, looks like this, orange color SPS. And the one that is a published graph that you can use in Substance Painter or Maya or any other application, you will have a SPSR file, and you will have a green color play button sort of a icon, just like this. So this is basically for Substance Designer, and this can be open and you can work with it in any third-party application as well. So let's close this or minimize it. So just we'll go to our last thing. And if you were to say you have make some more changes to your graph, you added a bunch of new nodes and the connections and etc, some like different things, like suppose I have brought my like I have moved these items here or somewhere here, or I have deleted some of the nodes from here, and I did some sort of a changes here, and any kind of thing that you have changed to your object basically. So, and then you want to actually re-export your SPSR file with all those new changes, sorry. Okay, and the way you export it is exported as before in the same folder with the same kind of settings. If you want to change, re-export them with the same settings, so you don't have to go all the way back and do all those changes again and again. So here you can right click on your graph. Okay, and you will notice there is publish SPSR file. You have to do all those. You have to go through all those inputs, store fields. You have to fill up those everything, and you will get your SPSR file. But you have to do all those things again. The other one now you will see here is publish SPSR file as previous. So whatever settings you have used previously, it will apply those like settings, and it will export your new file exactly the same way it's exported the last file. So this will save a lot of your time to avoid all these changes and everything. If you want exactly the same thing, if you want to export, and if you want to do that, you just click it here to avoid refilling the forms and feeding the values and those kind of things. So I'll just publish SPSR file as previous and done. So with that, I didn't got any sort of a message or no window popped up. So nothing was there asking me to fill or to input or to feed in, and it was all done in very short amount of time. So with the publish SPSR file as previous, you won't get the kind of dialog box that you had to choose all settings or just whatever we have done. So here you can keep exact settings, and you can, with click of one button, you can just export very quickly. And that kind of pretty much covers all the different settings inside of the Explorer view over here, and then and kind of all the different things that you can do here. So this is all for today's lesson. So our next lesson will be based on graph view. So I hope you have liked this lesson, and I'm sure you will be waiting for the next lesson. And I would like to thank you all for all your support, and I hope for your continued support, your support in future as well. So please subscribe to my channel if you have not subscribed to it yet, and I will be posting a lot of new content. So don't forget to hit the bell icon so you can receive the notifications about them. If you have liked my video, so please hit the like button and leave your questions in the comment section below, and I will surely answer them. In the end, I would like to mention that please avoid downloading my videos. Please watch them online, because all my hard work won't pay off like this. So please, to support me, always watch my videos online. So thanks once again, everyone, and soon we will meet up in the next lesson. Take care of yourselves, stay healthy, and keep learning.
There is one important announcement I would like to make. I have started 3 great membership plans on my channel. I have introduced ZI Friends membership plan, which will give you exciting perks like loyalty badges and priority on comments. I have also introduced ZI Early Bird plan, which will give access to Z interactive tutorials way early before they become public. So you will get all these lessons at once, and you can binge watch. Last but not the least, I have introduced ZI Premium plan, which will give access to advanced professional tutorials, which you will find at very expensive outside, and I will be giving this at a very low amount of price. So visit my channel now and click on the join membership to get more information. I hope you become one of my members. If you want to learn how to create a highly detailed prop procedurally using Substance Designer, so this premium tutorial series is for you. Join my premium membership plan on YouTube and get access to all premium tutorials. In this tutorial series, I will demonstrate how to use Substance Designer along with simple geometry to create a realistic smashed up retro television.